Have you ever said, sometimes I feel alone? Then this episode is going to be for you, where I talk about who is saying this, why I sometimes say this, what you can do about it, and why you're in that position. Hello, lovely dynamic woman. Welcome to the Dynamic Women podcast. I am Diane Rolston, your host, and it is strange sometimes to do these episodes as I'm almost at 5 years. Next week will be 5 years. And sometimes I come up with topics that are very education centered, very education driven. They're a how to. Sometimes I share stories, and sometimes I get real and raw and vulnerable. And this is going to be one of those. So, this comment of sometimes I feel alone. Where did this come from? Well, women have said this to me at events when we're doing the hallway chats or the bathroom lineup talks, or they come and see me after I've spoken on stage or done a breakout session. They come up to me and we talk about it. And sometimes tears are shed. They say, sometimes I feel alone. Clients have said this to me. And in a moment, I'm going to talk about who these type of women are that kind of brings them to this place. So clients have said this to me in coaching sessions, in group sessions, when they've come to Dynamic Women events, and they've said, sometimes I feel alone. And so I come here and now I don't. And, this is sometimes something that I feel, and this can be really strange for me to deal with and for people to even understand, because the people who say this are often leading full lives, busy lives, lots of people around them, lots of things happening. They have a lot of responsibility, right? They're strong leaders, they're high achievers. And so, for me, I've got my soccer team, I've got my friends, my business community, my family, my church community. And so you think my CAPS community, Canadian Association of Professional Speakers, and on and on. So how can we feel lonely when we have such full lives and so many people around us? Well, because we're strong and leaders and high achievers and confident, oftentimes thinking that we don't need anyone, that we don't need the support, that we don't need people to check in on us. And a lot of times, just in the role that we play in the different organizations we're a part of or the teams, we are the ones in charge or the ones that others look to lean on, to get support from. Even when a lot of times I'll be in an educational setting that I am not the leader, that it's not my material. I'm there as a student, but I see others struggling. And so where I understand something or where I'm feeling good about where I'm at in the program, I will lean in and support others. But what I find is I then take that role on, and then I don't get the support I need from whoever's leading it, because they're also looking to support the people who are struggling a bit. And this has always been a case in school. I always sat beside the struggling kid, the new kid, the ESL kid, the bullied kid. And my job was like twofold. One, to help them to be able to learn the material, maybe by sharing it in a different way or going a bit slower or using different words. And then the other piece is bringing them into the fold of the group. And I have such a heart for bringing people in. And the funny thing is, it comes from my own feeling of not being included, from not being in. And when you think, Diane, how are you like not in? Or you just have the confidence you can work a room? Well, I have to force that, because it's not always easy. And I find that strong, independent, high achieving, successful women don't have other people to lean on in the same way, and don't have the same support system. And they are the one that carry a lot of other people. I'm not saying the other people are to blame. I'm just saying this is often the situation. And so there's a lot of things that are going to come up for me in 2024 that I'm putting together right now for these women, because I hear these women say, where do I just get to be vulnerable? Where do I get to feel like others are supporting me? Where do I not have to carry the load or the answers for others? Where do I get to just kind of fall in and know that I'll be carried? And so there is a need for this, and this is what I'm putting together. For now, though, I'll just let you know there are a couple spots in the She's Gold program. This is an amazing place where you don't have to be the leader, where I get to be your leader, where you don't have to have all the answers, that the group dynamics, the mastermind component will help to give the answers, and where you've got structure so that you can achieve your own goals, not the goals of others, because everyone's on their own goal journey, where you can achieve your own goals without the need to carry others. And so there's still a few spots. I'll keep those open so that we can have the greatest group possible. And so what now for you if you say that sometimes I feel alone and you are in this category, this group of people that I'm talking about? You need to find your flock, find your people, right? We don't see geese flying alone because nature isn't meant to be that way. You need the synergy of a group. So find your group, find your people, find others who are just as strong as you or stronger than you, who challenge you to be better, where you're not the biggest fish in the pond. Get a leader. Get a leader, a mentor, a coach, an advisor, someone that you can learn from, a guru, whatever it is, who is ahead of you or who you can put your full confidence in. There's a lot of people in my life that I pay to be part of my team, so different coaches and such. And sometimes they're just there. Sometimes they're there to hear me cry, and sometimes they're there to remind me that I can do hard things. And sometimes they're there to tell me what the next step is when I don't have the clarity. And then the third piece of this is add in some support structure. And so not just like there's random people in your life, but actual some structure where you're part of a program or you agree to meet certain times to have that accountability or that check-in, because that's where a lot of times the I feel alone comes from, is that everyone thinks you're fine. Everyone thinks you're good. And it's not that you're putting it on or you're faking it, but you are self-reliable, you are independent, you are capable, you are successful. And so people don't feel like they need to baby you or check in on you. But feeling alone is a really sad, sad place to be, because then you do kind of cocoon in. And so if you're feeling at all, sometimes I feel alone and it's not a good thing for you. Like maybe sometimes you want to be alone. But when you feel alone, being alone and feeling alone are different, because you can feel alone in a massive work environment. You can feel alone with tons of family and friends around you. If this is your place, then seek some support as well. Make sure you have a coach, a counselor, someone that you can confide in. I often say to my clients, bring me your mess so you could be magnificent in the world. We're not meant to be perfect. We're not meant to have everything fall in line and be exactly how it needs to be. And if you're feeling alone, then take that step to not feel alone. Even just telling someone else, I feel alone. And if I'm that person, great. Email me, Diane@DianeRolston.com, or send me a message on social. I don't ever want anyone to feel alone. It is a hard place to be, and you can't use your gifts in the best way and do what you were meant to be brought here on earth to do if you're in that place. So don't feel alone anymore. Do something about it. And if you are one of these strong leaders, high achievers, independent, self-reliable women, make sure that your name is on my radar, because I'm putting together some really amazing things. And I'm putting together an invite list to the women who feel this way, that are wondering, where are my people? Where are the other strong women where I get to maybe show more vulnerability around, or I don't have to carry others? If you're curious about that or wanting to know more, please email me, Diane@DianeRolston.com, to say, hey, I'm one of those people. I heard your Sometimes I Feel Alone episode, and I'm one of those high achievers. I'm looking for my flock. And I'd be happy to share some cool new initiatives that I'm doing. Okay, if you haven't yet, hit subscribe. share with a friend. And until next time, stay dynamic, everyone. This is the last episode of year 4. And check out the next episode when it comes out, which is going to be our 5th anniversary party. If you haven't yet, you do have an invite to join the recording of this and to ask me your question or to share about your favorite episodes. So check the show notes so that you can be a part of that moving forward. Stay dynamic, everyone. Bye.